Hi, welcome to C2C World TV. I'm Yvonne Jones, your host for today's series called By Entrepreneurs for Entrepreneurs with our lovely co-host Robin Edelman. Today's show is sponsored by Edible Home Gardens Ranch, RV, and Tiny Home Resort Communities that offers affordable rates starting at only $250 a month up to $500 a month with free organic food. Investors can earn between 7% fixed up to 35% fixed return on investment. Call us at 417-664-4424 to get more info. We're excited to introduce to you a special guest this evening who is a 10-time author, Brian K. McNeill. Brian is the CEO and founder of Sales Confidence Speaking and Workshops. Three of his books include Timid Entrepreneurs Have Skinny Kids, Mastering Sales Language, and his upcoming book, Stay Pitching, Tell Your Story Instead. Thank you, Brian. For more than 2 decades, Brian has helped entrepreneurs, sales professionals, and business leaders communicate their values more effectively, increase their confidence while earning significantly more money by selling themselves and their services better. Brian is well known for his high energy presentations, practical strategies, humor, and storytelling. Brian delivers programs that are both entertaining and immediately actionable. His audiences consistently leave with greater confidence, clearer communication skills, and a renowned enthusiasm for growing their businesses. When he's not speaking, writing, or training, Brian enjoys cigars, chess, traveling with his wife, and helping entrepreneurs discover just how much potential they truly have. Please join us in welcoming Brian K. McNeill to our C2C World TV show that's all about entrepreneurs. And please start us off, Brian, by telling our viewers what motivated you into this exciting career path.
Man, I could not wait, Yvonne. Thank you for having me. And thank you, Sister Robin Edelman, who's one of my favorite people. I start off my talks by saying these words that
Uh,
our lives are not scrimmages or practice games. There is no Martyrs Hall of Fame. Time the speedster takes its toll. And for us as entrepreneurs, every day really is their Super Bowl. My name is Brian K. McNeill, and yes, I am an entrepreneur full time. I'm a speaker and a sales trainer. But to answer your question, I started out on a sales force and I ascended to sales manager. And I was reading and teaching, and I became a corporate sales trainer. And I started to hear this is the best sales training I ever had. And a lady challenged me, Brian, you're quoting all these other books. Where's your book? And I didn't have one. And I felt a gut punch. But the fire was lit to start my own business. So I summoned up my courage and my dollars and I launched out into my own business. My first company was called Rhino Sales and Seminars. Rhino Sales and Seminars. I had read a book called Rhinoceros Success by a guy named Scott Alexander, and it kind of motivated me. And my first month in business, ladies, I killed it. I made like 11 grand my first month in business for myself. And the second month, I made $1,200. And and it was up and down. It was less and less money until I had to give up my business and go back into corporate America. It took me 4 tries to make my business stick.
mhm.
4 tries. Now, and it all went through the same pattern. I go back into corporate America, get my confidence back up again, and then I go back into my own business because that's really what I wanted to do. I make a
Yeah.
lot of money and then less and less and less till it was no money. Then I had to tuck my tail and I felt defeated. But I had a mortgage and a wife and kids and I had to pay bills. So I had to go back and do what I had to do. But it took me 4 tries to make my business stick. And I've been full time on it now for 16 years.
I love it, Brian. It's about hope for all of us too out there who are doing things over and over and things change. And not only is it just about stuff that changes for us, but the economy. Things also influence those changes as well. That plays an impact in a lot of our
Yeah.
changes.
Mhm. Now, you introduced me as a sales confidence expert, and I am that. By my own count, I've read more than 700 books on how to sell or manage salespeople or personal development. Now, I sell people, I've written 10 books, but that's actually a low number because I've written a chapter in book compilations a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I've
Oh,
been
wow.
spoken about in other people's books too, where I didn't even contribute, but they was quoting Brian K. McNeill taught us this, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I've written dozens of articles. So I'm constantly writing. If you look at my LinkedIn, you'll see lots of articles that I've written because an idea will hit me, or I'll give a training and someone will say something, or I'll hear something, and I'll say, "Oh, I got to write about that." You know, like someone did a workshop on a popular site that we both know of, we all know of, and it was talking about how to sell without selling. And it just really, really struck me wrong because that's a misnomer. And normally
Yeah.
people who say that are being sold by somebody. They're selling you or buying their
Right.
program on how to sell without selling. But it feeds into the entrepreneur's timidity, which I think is killing them so much. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want to ask for the business. They don't want to come across as salesy, which as if that's a
Right.
bad thing, and it's hurting their wallet so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the books I'm working on right now is the history of selling. I call myself a sales historian, but there's a reason why people have a negative connotation to selling. They earned it over time, but that the reason why they were able to get away with that is because they knew what clients didn't know. They knew what the products really did. But that went away around mid '90s when everyone had Google in their pocket. So now
Yeah.
the salesperson today has to be honest. Now we look for reviews. Now everybody checks out everybody. You can't get away with just saying anything anymore. So that whole concept, the pendulum needs to shift back, and it will. For example, Yvonne, if I told you by chance, I should have asked you ahead of time, but by chance, do you consider yourself a single woman or a married woman?
I don't know, just an attractive woman.
Huh?
I said just an attractive woman.
Just an attractive woman. Well,
I'm just,
that's definitely that.
I'm just kidding about that because I had to come up with something a little different,
Okay, no
anyways.
problem.
So I was just horsing around with you. But no, I do consider myself a single woman, so
Okay,
yeah.
great. Well, you're in luck, Yvonne, because I
Okay,
got this
good.
man I want to introduce you to, and he's a salesman type. Now, with just that description, what came to mind?
Oh, tall, good looking, dressing as professional, I
Hmm.
guess. That's all I'm thinking of.
Is the image more positive than negative?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Hmm.
Well, lucky you, because a lot of women with that he's a salesman type, they would shudder, they would clench, they would say, "Oh no, hide your wallet. He's going to be a fast talker. He's going to try to get to my money," because that's the image that they hold
Wow.
of
Hmm.
salespeople. And if you're one of the people, I'm so glad that you're not. But if you're one of these people who have a negative connotation to the thought of just meeting someone who's a salesman type, I didn't tell you if he was good looking or bad looking. I didn't tell you if he was a nice guy or a bad guy. I didn't tell you anything other than salesman type. And some
Right.
people ascribe a negative connotation to that. And if those people, and there's a lot of them out there, who
Hmm.
have a negative connotation to the thought of selling, they're going to have a very difficult time earning a living in their entrepreneurial pursuits because your subconscious mind is not going to let you do things that you find distasteful, you
Hmm.
know? So
Hmm.
we have to kill that first. Okay. Did you
Good
want to say
point.
something there?
I was gonna say good point, but I also like a man in a cowboy hat too. So now what do I do?
Get you your man in your cowboy hat. So the time that I spend with you folks tonight is going to feel like it's gone by very, very fast. But I intend to everyone who watches this podcast, and this is not what I hope to accomplish, what I know will be true. Everyone who sees this particular podcast will be better at selling themselves and their services than they were before I started talking. And this is not what I hope to accomplish. Everyone who watches this podcast, when this podcast is over, they're going to be more confident in their ability to sell, and they're going to like selling more. And they're going to know why people will say yes. That's what I'm going to get done in the next 20 minutes or so. Okay. That's how fast it's going to happen.
I'm excited. Get your cowboy hat on.
Oh, I don't have a cowboy hat or cowboy boots. Could you believe it? But anyway, I don't have one. But I'm going to say this to you. If I ask an audience, it doesn't matter if it's 10 people in the room, 110,000, it doesn't matter. Why do you think anybody would say yes to you and your services? Why do you think they would hire you? And you hear stuff like, because I get results, because I'm hardworking, because I'm honest, because I go the extra mile, because I really, really care, because I'm so passionate, because I have a degree, because I have a certification, because I've been doing this for more than 10 years, because I'm so honest. All those things are great, and none of them are reasons for someone to hire you. They all are reasons for someone to like you, or even respect you, or to save you a seat. But that's not, none of those things are reasons to give you money. You've got 3 degrees, that's great for you. Unless you can articulate why that degree that you have for yourself is valuable to me, there's not a reason to give you money. It's just not. It's just something that's cool about you. And people who don't understand selling, that's how they treat it. They treat it as, well, because I'm so great, they should give me business. No, you're so great, they'll like you. Think about this. There's a lot of people that you know and you like a great deal. And you know what they do in business, but you've never done business with them. Why not? Because you don't have a reason to.
That's
That's
right.
why.
That is
And
right.
there's a lot of people that know you and they like you a great deal. And they know what business you're in, but they've never done business with you. Why not? Even though they like you, why not? Because they don't have a reason to. I'm going to give you some reasons why they will say yes.
That's
Number
all.
one, number one. I will say this to you guys if you're watching, take out your pad and pencil
I'm
because this is
ready.
going to be right.
I'm
Number
ready.
one reason why they will exchange their money for you and your services is the word time. Time, Time, time. Is there any part of your services that will help them to save some time?
Mm-hmm.
Or are there any results that they can achieve faster because you came by? If you can help them to get something done faster, you should talk about that because saving time or getting a result faster is a good reason to hire you. That's a good reason to give you money. And if your service does that, you should talk about it. If your services help them with time and you don't talk about it, that's a benefit you already have. But if you don't mention it, it's as if you didn't even have it. Number
Right.
one is time. Number two is the word money. 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 Money is the key to end all your woes, your ups, your downs, your highs, and your lows. Won't you tell me last time that love bought your clothes? I was quoting some poets from the 80s, Run DMC.
I thought we were
Okay?
supposed to say amen after that. I don't know. It sounded like
That's
preaching.
right. That's right. That's right. But money, does your service help your clients to either save some money or earn more money or both? A lot of you guys, with just a little bit of creativity, realize your service will help somebody else to either save some money, earn more money, or both. And if your service does that, you should talk about it because that's a good reason to give you money. Time, money. Number three are the words good feelings. Good feelings. Because you and your services, can you help your clients or potential clients to feel better about themselves? Like now, even if they've been messing it up until the moment they connected with you, can you help them to feel better about themselves? That's a good reason to give you money. You help them to feel better about themselves. Or can you help them to imagine other people having a higher opinion of them or both? A 65-year-old man buying a red convertible sports car. He did not buy it because it had good brakes. He bought it because he imagines by him driving that car, he's going to look cool. And he also thinks that when you see him pull up in his red convertible, you're going to agree with his assessment. Yes, that man looks cool. That's why he did it, not because of the safety features. Good feelings. I'm going to give you a couple more. Number four is time, money, good feelings. Number four is solutions to a problem. One, what is the big an obvious problem that's solved by you and your services. Not all the problems you solve, but what's the big and obvious one? That's what you want to talk about. Most of the time, your big obvious problem that you guys are helping your clients is they don't know how to do the thing that you do, and you do. They don't know how to do it. You don't want to be trying to come across as if you can solve this, that, and that, and that, and that. You can solve all their problems. No one even likes that person who comes across that they can solve all the problems. They don't want you to solve all their problems, but they do want you to solve their big and obvious problem. You should talk about that. That's 4. I'm going to give you 5. There's 7 I teach. I'm only going to give 5 with you guys today. Number 5 is the words good health. Health, good health. Is there a way that you and your services improve your clients' health in any way? Now, for a lot of entrepreneurs, it's very obvious, especially if they're in nutrition or fitness. That's how you improve their health. But for a lot of other entrepreneurs, you improve their health, but less obvious ways. And the way I want you to consider is, do you and your services help your clients to either worry less or stress less? All your clients already have very full plates. They already got a lot of responsibilities. They already got a lot of stuff they got to do. They already got things they got to take care of. They already got a lot of people that they have to consider. And on top of their very full plate, they got their worries and stressors. On top of all that stuff, I want you to see yourself as coming along and taking away some of their stress, taking away some of their worries, with a sentence like, if you let me help you, you won't have to worry about this nearly as much. There are many clients waiting and wanting someone to say to them, if you let me help you, you won't have to stress over this thing here nearly as much. Now, I suspect I've been talking about 10, 12 minutes now, something like that. I'm also suspecting that someone just hearing me talk already heard something I say that's going to be helpful to them. Did either of you guys hear anything in my first 12 minutes or so talking that you believe will be helpful to you and your business?
I did.
All of it.
I know. I mean, that's what I promote, even in my opening line, saving money on the resorts, how, and your health and the wealth with the healing herbs. I mean, we're all about it.
Yes, and you should talk about that because that's a benefit that you already have. You don't have to go look for that benefit. You already have it. And you should talk about it because that's one of the benefits that they want to spend money on.
That's
okay?
Right. I agree.
I'm so honest. I'm so passionate. That's great. I appreciate that. I like that about you. I've been doing this so long. Great. I'm not giving you any money. Okay? That's just not a good reason. Okay. Now, in the time I have here, I want you guys to understand why people will say yes. I'm going to role play one more thing to you, with you, Sister Yvonne. I'm going to put you in a scene. Let's say that you went out shopping and running errands on a Saturday afternoon, okay? And you've run all your errands and you've done all the shopping you plan on doing, and your plan is to just stop off at a hotel bar, have one drink, and then to go home. That's stuff that people do, right? Stop off, get out of the heat, go to AC, get a drink, and go home. So let's say you're doing that. All right, you're at the bar, you're by yourself, you're minding your business, and here I come along. And the role play starts now, okay?
Okay. Well,
hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. My name is Brian. Please tell me, what's your name?
Hey, I'm Yvonne Jones.
Yvonne Jones? Yvonne, I think you are lovely. Let's get married.
I don't think so. You don't have a cowboy hat on.
What?
I said, you don't have a cowboy hat on. No.
I don't have a cowboy hat on. So if that happened, is there any way that you could say yes to a marriage proposal like that?
Nope.
Nope. You joked about it at first. Your knee-jerk response was to laugh. People who don't understand selling, that's how they treat it. They treat it, well, I offered it to them and they didn't say yes. They don't know enough to say yes. They don't know shit. Yvonne in that scenario doesn't know if I have any redeeming qualities or not.
Right.
That's not appropriate for people to propose marriage before they have made their case. And people who don't understand selling, that's how they treat it. Yes. That's how they treat it. It's not appropriate. Selling is a process. If you're writing something down, write this down. Selling is a process, and the most important part of the process is the person. You have to be the type of person that deserves the sale. You have to earn your sales. You don't, life is not a gift shop. You don't get no money for just showing up, my entrepreneurial friends. You have to earn your dollars. You got to work on yourself and your services until it's worth money that you're asking for. You have to be the kind of, the selling is a process. Write those words down. And the most important part of the process is the person. Now, the biggest crime, before I stop talking, I'm gonna bring my ladies back in here. The biggest crime entrepreneurs are committing today. That's what I want to talk about next. The biggest crime entrepreneurs are committing regularly. Regularly. The biggest crime that entrepreneurs are committing regularly is they never ever even ask for business. They never even ask. They'll do good presentations and then hope. They'll do good branding and good marketing and then hope that someone says yes to them. Or someone, they even hope more than that. They hope the clients will say, hey, Yvonne, I really like what you have. Can I hire you? Okay. That's what's called low probability selling. Your clients are not going to do your work for you. The biggest crime entrepreneurs committing today is they never even ask for business. They'll do anything to keep from asking for business. They will jump through this loop and go through that hoop. They will go over that. They will buy this, buy that, get branding colors. They will spend thousands of dollars. They will sign up for courses, how to sell without selling, because they never, ever even ask for business. Here's how I want you guys to fix that. Once you believe that person fully understands how your services can be a benefit to them, and you decide when that is. Once you believe they've heard enough to understand how you and your service will be benefiting them, I want you to say these words. This is how I want you to ask for business. I want you to say to them, will you give my services a try?
I like it.
Will you give me a try? Will you give my business a try? Will you give my services a try? Is such a non-threatening way to ask for business directly. Now, showmanship matters too. When you ask someone to give your business a try, your facial expression needs to be confidently expectant. You should be focused on how much better their life gets or what you like about them. But if you say, it's gonna be $10,000, will you hire? If you offer it timidly, their acceptance is going to be timid. So showmanship matters. You present your rates and you ask for the business as if you're bragging on your rates and you're bragging on how your business, because you know they're going to be better off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If someone hires me, there's no doubt they're going to be better off. They're going to sell better and their confidence is going to be exponentially greater. When I first started talking about 20 minutes ago, I don't know, I said everyone that watches this podcast is going to be better at selling themselves and their services than they were before I started talking. I said somebody's going to be more confident in their ability to earn a dollar. Learning why people will say yes to you instead of what they think they'll say yes, because I'm so great. I got 2 degrees. That's why you should hire me. That's good for you. That's not a reason for me to give you money. Okay. Understanding why people will say yes. Understanding how to ask for the business directly. Do either one of you 2 ladies believe that I have accomplished my goal?
Yes. Yes.
I think it's fantastic.
Do you feel more confident, either one of you?
Yes.
I
We
mean,
do. I do.
I think you aligned with me completely on what I'm trying to do and what you're doing, and I think it's excellent what you pulled out. And yeah, I totally agree.
Amen. The beautiful thing is, this is an opportunity. Everyone who gets a chance to watch this podcast, they even get a chance to, they got to make a choice whether they're going to show up or not. They're going to get this knowledge or not, you know. But the people, there will be someone who chooses to pay attention, and there'll be someone who chooses to pay attention and write stuff down and apply it. And those people are going to earn more money. That's just it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
True. Exactly.
All
Oh
right,
man.
ladies.
We are already coming up to a 10-minute hard break. I'm just letting you know, just to give you a
Oh, we
heads
got
up.
10 minutes left?
Yeah.
I thought we was about done.
Yeah, you got it. You got the floor.
So I can keep going.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good. All right. Think about this here, entrepreneurial friends. Are you selling your services to people or are you selling it for people?
Mm-hmm.
You see, if you're selling it to them, it's because you're trying to make some money. If you're selling it for them, it's because you know they're going to be better off if they take your solutions. So the question is, are you selling it to them or for them? Now, if you decide you're selling it for them because you know they're going to be better off, then if that's true, then your job is to motivate them to take action with your offer. Selling today is more of a motivational process than it has ever been. Motivating people to take an action. Information is prevalent, the information is everywhere. But can you get them to get off of dead center? Can you get that fat butt up off the couch? Can you get them to pay an invoice? Motivating them to take an action. You're almost a motivational speaker. When I get in front of a group of entrepreneurs, I'll say, "Does anyone here consider yourself an entrepreneur?" Everybody hands would fly up. Does anyone here consider yourself in sales? Half the hands fly up. Wrong answer. If you're an entrepreneur, you're in sales too. You need to honor that. Sales too. If you ask people what's the most important skill in business, what's the most important skill? They'll say stuff like um, budgeting or leadership or delegation or I don't know. All that stuff is great. But I will tell you, as an entrepreneur, you can have a million problems, and one new sale gets rid of the headache. One new sale makes you feel better. People say, "What do you need to do before you start business, before you launch a business?" You hear stuff like, "You need to save up 6 months of reserve money just to get started." People who save 6 months worth of reserve money don't get serious until they got 5 months past. Okay. What you need to start before you do anything, before you get your branding, before you get your website, you need one paying client. You need proof of concept. You need one person to pay you for what you offer, and everything else you get that along the way. You don't get that ahead of time. I had this doctor up in New York City who wanted to get out of the hospital and start her own practice because she believed that food heals better than medicine. She believes that there's a food for everything that's wrong with you. So she rented a really nice suite of offices on Park Avenue because she wanted to look established. She got really, really great paperwork. She got really nice art in her office. She had this ebony and mahogany desk from Africa, and it was beautiful, black and brown, white, beautiful desk. So she looked established. She got her colors. She got her website that had graphics that flash off and on her website. She got all of these things. And her girlfriend, her real good girlfriend, called me up and said, she's put out so much money, but she has no clients.
Oh, no.
She did everything backwards. She put the cart before the horse. She put all this stuff to look established, have the right address, but she had no clients.
Wow.
I told her to stop all of that. Let's get you one client first. One. Jesus Christ. Okay. I don't want anybody to go through that.
Yeah.
Huh?
She just went backwards, and that must have been so hard though. Just thinking I've made it and they're just gonna roll in maybe, right? Just by the look of what I have. But
if you build it, they will come is not true. Even if your stuff is better than others, build a better mousetrap and the world will be the path to your door is just not true either. It's just not. Okay. You can have a better mousetrap, but the one who sells the mousetraps better wins. Okay.
True.
That's true. That's true because if you look at Microsoft and Mac,
exactly,
the Mac and Microsoft, Mac was always better than the Microsoft, always.
Right. But Microsoft towers in sales over Mac because they sell it better.
Yeah, they just sell it better.
That's it. Yeah. You don't have to have the best, but you do need, and you don't compete against other people or other companies. You don't compete against them. You only compete with how well they sell. And when you
I
work with
see. Yeah.
me, you'll be working with the best sales trainer. So you'll win.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Awesome.
competitive. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we agreed we're selling to them or for them, we agree we're selling for them. If someone hires you and your services and they pay you the money that you ask, who is better off, you or them? See, because if they pay you the money you ask, you're going to get some money and you're going to spend it on something, probably on bills or whatever. But what do they get? They get to get the value of what you gave them today, and they get to use it today. And if you taught them anything, they get to get that value to use next week and next month and next year.
Yes.
Repeat.
They get to use it for the rest of their careers. So who gains the most? Who gains the most if they say yes? It's clearly them.
Yes.
So if they gain the most by hiring you and your services, the converse is also true. Who loses the most when they don't work with you? And you're not there to help them to lose, you're there to help them to win. If I doubled my rates or tripled my rates, if you doubled your rates or tripled your rates, it would still be a good deal for them because you're going to just get money and you're going to spend it, but they're going to get value this week, next month, next year for the rest of their careers. They gain a whole lot more than you do. So you owe it to them to motivate them to take your services because they're going to be better off. That's what I need
Absolutely.
you
I like
guys to
that.
know.
Yes.
They're going to
Very
be
nice.
better off.
I
Okay.
totally agree with that, especially with our product.
Mhm. Especially with your product. And you do need to believe in your product that much.
Yes.
Okay. You know, if they hire you, Yvonne, and they give you the money that you asked for, are they going to be better off
Oh,
than
yeah.
they would have been if they had just kept their money?
Absolutely, 100%.
So good. So, and I believe you. She said absolutely 100%. So if that's true, and I believe it is, I want you to adopt this philosophy. Lucky them if they get to work with me.
I love that. Yeah.
Not
Yep.
lucky me if I get a client.
Right.
It's
Lucky them if
lucky
they get to be a
client
part of our tribe, right?
if they get to.
Mhm.
Right. Because you're not going to half step it. You're going to be good. They're going to be better off. So lucky them if they get to work with me. I want you to
Yes.
adopt that philosophy. I want you to put it on and wear it like a coat. Lucky them if they get to work with me.
I think I ended my last show with another customer, another interviewer with that exact phrase. I said, "Hey, we got 12 million seeds worth $48 million. You're going to get your organic coffee and chocolate from us." Remember that, Robin? Didn't I
I
say
do.
that?
I do remember that, but I just want to interject with what Brian just said that instead of a dream board, post that up on your wall or have sticky notes everywhere, like on the mirror, like they always say, like, others have said, but just get that in your mind, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Deep down into you.
Lucky
I,
them if they
yeah,
get to work with me. And I
yes,
believe in those things you suggested. Writing it down so you see it in your bathroom, in your
yes,
office, wherever you do it.
mm,
I express gratitude. I'm grateful for the prosperity I already have and the money that's on
yes,
this way. I'm grateful for that. I
yes,
give thanks for all
I
these things
agree.
that are coming.
Yep,
For my
yeah,
income goals and all that I have. So but giving gratitude and seeing it. There's a classic book written in 1939 called Think and Grow Rich.
hmm,
Think
Mm-hmm.
and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill. Chapter two of the
yes,
book is the chapter on desire. Desire. And in chapter two of the book, it gives the formula on how to get anything you ever wanted. How to get anything you ever wanted. And what he does is he recommends that you write it down as if you're already having it and you're giving
yes,
gratitude. I'm grateful that I
yes,
bring in greater than $25,000 each calendar month, and it feels great, or something like that. Okay, so
yeah,
you write it down with gratitude, and once you've written it down and expressed with gratitude, you read it 3 times. You read it once when you wake up. You read it once after you had your food in the afternoon, and the third time you read it is right before you lay down for bed. But the third time, the key is you read it out loud